How are we doing? I'm Mark Graham, Engineering Manager and Sales Manager here at Grilla Grills, and this is...
I'm Shane Draper, Pit Master and Food Guru for Grilla Grills.
So today we want to kind of try to help the consumers here. I get tons of phone calls every day from people who have searched the internet over and over, and quite frankly, they're just bombarded and they're more confused.
Absolutely.
There's tons of data out there, tons of marketing, tons of commercials, tons of people telling you theirs is the best grill. Maybe it is, I don't know. But we're going to try to get down to the facts today.
It's about putting the money where it matters in a grill. We can put a lot of money in electronics and drive up the price of the grill, or we can put it in the steel, which really helps with the longevity of the grill and the overall usability every single day. We're all about more grill, less money, and that money where it matters factor. And we're going to show you today in a cutaway exactly how these grills work and where we put our money so you have the best grill for your dollar.
All right, so like we said, today we're going to talk about pellet grills. We have the Silverback. We have our Pro Smoke model, the Grilla. So today, these are going to be the key ones we focus on. We also have the Charcoal Kong, but today we're going to leave that one alone. We'll come back to that in another video. Today, it's all about the pellet grills.
Okay, so let's talk about this, about pellet grills from a cooking standpoint. Just the basics. How do they work? They all start with adding these pellets to what we call a hopper. Now, these pellets are just compressed wood. You guys probably know that because you've been looking around on the internet already at these pellet grills. They're fed into a fire pot, into the chamber, the cooking chamber, and down below, that's where the fire is stoked. There's air fed to it. There's an igniter that ignites the pellets, and all that creates your smoke and your heat. You have a cooking surface. You want that to be a nice heavy gauge steel. That does matter there for longevity. You guys that have bought a lot of these gas grills, what's the first thing that goes away?
Cooking grates. Those
cooking grates, absolutely. It's the number one thing that's replaced on most grills is cooking grates. Make sure you get a good solid cooking grate. Beyond that, they're basically an easy bake oven. I know we hate hearing that term, but it's true.
Hey, yeah.
You've got a control panel, you set the temperature, the algorithm within the control panel does all the work for you, getting the grill to that temperature by feeding the pellets at a certain rate to achieve that. And along the way, you're smoking, you're grilling, you're enjoying it, you know.
Enjoying your day while it does the work.
Right, you're in a setting much like this, enjoying life without having to really mother this thing. But let's talk about the internals. How does it really do it? Right. And Mark's going to show us all of that.
So what we got here is a Silverback, and we got a cutaway of it. So all pellet grills use very similar components. First, they have to have an auger motor. This delivers the fuel into the burn pot. They all have a combustion blower that delivers the air into the burn pot. They all have an ignition system that starts the fire. And then, of course, a control board that controls the temperature and some other features that can be added on. So generally, when you need fire, you need some smoke, you need three things: fuel, air, and heat. So once you got the fire going, the rest of it is just sheet metal. And if you can see, we had a cutaway of the Silverback here. We wanted to put the money where it matters, and you're spending money on pellets, the heat, you want to retain it. So one of the features that we have built into both our pellet grills is this double wall insulation. This is what matters, man. I mean, you got a void here. That really helps keep and retain that heat in the grill, which ultimately gets you better efficiency, less fuel cost, and that really adds up at life of your grill, because your only consumable really is electricity, which is extremely low, and pellet that you're using every day. So you want a well-insulated grill. There's a lot of grill manufacturers that have thicker steel and thinner steel. From an engineering side of it, thickness of steel is important, hands down, no questions asked. But do you want one that's so heavy and thick that you can't lug it around?
Well, this is the piece that really astounded me even as a cook, right? Because I was like, bigger is always better, right? I mean, come on. So I was like, what about these grills that weigh 1,200 pounds? And there's some great ones out there, and they're quite expensive. Yeah. But what I found was they take forever to go through this process called heat soaking, meaning your auger motor doesn't shut off. It keeps feeding fuel until it heat soaks all that metal, and it then achieves the set temp. Exactly. So when you explain that to me, and then we're able to demonstrate it and show it, mind blown, right? It was a revolutionary moment. So go through that. Explain that.
Yeah, one of the things we did a video on this too, some cold weather testing with a double wall insulation. If you think about it, thicker, as Shane alluded to, isn't always better. It's good, don't get me wrong, but if thicker was a better insulator, I think all of our refrigerators in our house would weigh 8,000 pounds. They don't. It's about having a little bit of air gap, right?
Right.
Is thinner steel better? Well, I'm not saying thinner steel is better.
Right.
I've gone to some of these big box stores and think, man, that grill looks phenomenal. Then I grab it, and I'm like, what in the world?
Sounds like an empty aluminum can, doesn't it?
I swear I could take my keys and just jam it right through it. I'm like, okay, it looked really good, but it's not. So there's a fine line, right? And that's, again, we've been forming metal for 40 plus years now. That's where our specialty, I think, really comes in play. What makes a lot of sense? Thicker? It's good, don't get me wrong, but is it necessary? Thinner? No, you want longevity, right? So finding that sweet spot and putting the money where it matters is key.
You know the test that everyone does in the big box store? It's this one right here. How many times you walk through Lowe's and seen this one?
Yeah.
If it doesn't make a solid thud, it's probably not the right grill.
Yeah.
If it sounds like you've just kicked an aluminum can, it probably needs to be built a little bit better. Okay, we're not disparaging any brands,
Sure.
but we want you to know what matters when you're buying a grill. Now you can put a heavy lid on anything, but when that heavy lid hits a really thin body, you're going to hear it and you're going to know it. And from a cooking standpoint, it's exactly what you said. You want that happy medium. You want something that maintains heat well, doesn't take forever to heat up, so it's not killing your pellet usage. I think we've demonstrated up to a 30% advantage using the air gap as far as efficiency on pellet usage. That is every time you fire up your grill, no matter what temperature. We've got guys cooking in like negative 32 temps up in Canada with these grills, and that is just unheard of out of a pellet grill.
And unheard of out of me. I am not cooking a negative 32.
No, me either.
But he does it, and he posts down there all the time.
Let's talk about the family background a little bit. I mean, 40 years of bending steel.
The owner, best friend of mine since I was 4 years old. Family-owned business. I watched it grow, stamping little parts. I went in the military, kept coming back, and the company got bigger and bigger, got into automotive, got into construction. I came on board after my military time and just said, man, this company's really growing. Got involved in the automotive section, and in about 2008, we decided, hey, let's branch out and diversify and build a pellet furnace. Not only did it burn pellets, it burned corn, wheat, cherry pits, and it had to go in your house and heat someone's home.
Super complicated system.
Way complicated. So that was a very intense challenge for us here. But it really got us into, looking at different things. So with that background, these pellet grills were, not to downplay, but were kind of easy. Right. We've been forming steel, welding steel. We love technology. We got millions of dollars of laser centers, brake presses, and 3D printers. We develop all this stuff, and make sure that it's right for the consumer. When you're in the automotive business, you don't play around, man. It's got to be right. You better test it.
Right.
So that's kind of who you're buying into here, man. This it's a family business, and we treat our customers the same way. And I love getting emails from customers saying, hey, I just want to give you a shout out. This grill is great.
Right.
The construction's awesome. Thanks for taking my phone call the other day. And I'm seeing these consumers email me and say how much they love the grill. Right. Seeing them join this Facebook owners group, which is my Grilla Grill Smoker, 4 words. Grow from a tiny little group that a customer started. Not even
we
didn't
don't
even
own it.
ask.
It's not ours.
He said, "Hey, can I start a group?" Yeah, sure. Grow to 7,800 people already, in just barely over a year, and it is a stinking family, man. These guys are hilarious, guys and gals. There's a couple gals in there. Was getting in trouble, and they love the recipes that you've created. Thanksgiving, Christmas. They're like, this recipe was a hit.
Right.
Family loved it. I can't believe it. And they're just passionate about it because you made a good, simple recipe on a good grill. And those two made customers just super excited.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're here to do, man. And I just love that feedback from the customers.
Yeah. I do too. And it comes back to that core philosophy, more grill, less money. Put the money where it matters. That's what we're all about. Us not doing that distribution network. We want to be small. We want to be great, and we recognize that we may not have every option you want. I know Wi-Fi gets thrown out there a lot. Why don't you have Wi-Fi? I was honestly the one that came in and said no Wi-Fi, and as a cook, I don't want to be that separated from my grill. But what we found through our research is that of 90% of the people that paid the money, that additional $300 to $400 for that Wi-Fi unit, they've used it an average of 2 times.
It's a barbecue, man. You're out backyard cooking.
Right.
These things are already crazy easy to use. And I don't want to keep adding things that are going to drive the cost up.
Right.
I can put more stuff on there. Trust me, I would love to add stuff, but I don't want to make this up here where it's not affordable to the average consumer.
Right.
So will we ever do it? I would never say never, because you know what, as technology evolves, and if the customers truly want it, hey, you know what, we'll look at it. But I had that one customer come up last fall, had a competitor's, and he ended up buying the Grilla because he wanted to add to his line because the one that he had was a little bit smaller. And he was showing me his Wi-Fi app, and I was like, man, that's cool. He's an IT guy, and he's like, I said, that is pretty slick. I said, do you use it quite a bit? He goes, actually, I think I've used it twice. So that really stuck in my head. I'm like, you know what? I can add that for a couple $100, but the guy's going to use it once or twice, man. So,
and
anyway,
you got to troubleshoot it forever. That's the other thing from an IT guy's standpoint. You know,
and maybe it will make sense in the future, but we want to make it so the price point, it has to make sense. More grill, less money,
less
man.
money. And let's talk about our price point. We didn't even touch on the price you see on our website is the price you check out with.
Yeah.
It's free shipping, man.
Yeah.
This is delivered to your door. A lot of other brands, if you're not buying them in the big box store, those are already marked up 30%, or 30% has been taken out of the quality of the grill to meet a margin.
Yeah.
What we do, we avoid all of that. We go direct to you. The shipping's included, so what you see is what you get on your pricing, and that's the way we want to be. We want to be transparent as a company and give you the best deal we can. We don't believe in big holiday sales, and Mark, you started that from the beginning, and I love that.
Let's get our price as low as it makes sense so we can obviously be profitable as a company, but give the best value to the customer. I quite frankly think it devalues the product.
I do too.
When you go to a holiday, it's like, hey, we can drop our price $200 now. Well, then what were you doing the rest of the year?
Right.
Price that you see on our website, that's to your door, man.
Right.
And we can do that because we don't have the distribution network these big boxes have.
Right.
And that's 30-40% margin.
Certainly.
We're putting that back into. That's why we got quarter-inch stainless steel grates.
Absolutely.
At the price that we have, and big heavy
Nice
lids,
grill quality, yeah.
because we have that 30-40% margin that we can actually put back in the grill, not always in our pocket. And big ads. Let's put it where it matters, right? And that right there has been totally evident, because when these consumers open these grills for the first time, because we are an e-commerce store, the amount of emails that we get back, like, oh my gosh, this thing is built like a tank.
Right.
I love those emails.
Yeah, I do too. So we hope all this information has helped you make a decision today, arm you with a little bit of information. We're not here to market to you. We're here to help you make the proper decision for you and your family. But there's a lot more out there that you can look for. We've got a lot of information on our YouTube channel, our Facebook site, Instagram, you name it. We're all over social media, and there's a lot of great comparison videos that you've done, Mark. But there's a lot more information out there. This is just the beginning to help you get to where you need to be to make a decision for you. And again, if it's not Grilla Grills, we wish you the best of luck. We hope it is us. We hope we've shown you enough to earn your business today and help make you part of our family.
Yeah. So again, check out all of these options Shane talked about. We do have an owners group on Facebook as well, started by an owner. Right. Again, just love this product, started a group, over 7,800 people on it. It's 4 words, My Grilla Grill Smoker. Great group of people just sharing the love, man. And we appreciate all your time. And again, like Shane said, hopefully this is helpful. And you can see the value. And when you go out there and do some shopping, you can kind of focus on the things that really matter to you and what fits your budget.
Right.
So
this is Mark Graham, the engineer.
This is Shane Draper, the pit master.
And this is Grilla
Grilla
Grills.
Grills.
We'll see you next time.